So when thinking about ethics, firstly, the point that I like to make is that ethics are about right and wrong, good and bad. Fundamentally, ethical issues are those issues where people just struggle to figure out what the right thing to do is. An ethical dilemma that I may encounter when I start my career as a school counselor would be um, the issue of breaching confidentiality, um, having established a relationship with a client's parents outside of the counseling workforce, and counseling their child, and thus them not wanting to know the ins and outs of the relationship that I have with the client relationship that I have with their child, and wanting to know every little detail and everything that is going on, and putting me in an ethical dilemma of breaching confidentiality simply because it would be expected because we are friends outside of this session, and so they would expect for me to just come out and just let them know exactly what is happening in session, what is the child saying, what is the child feeling, and unfortunately, as a school counselor, I'm bound by ethics, and that's actually not a possibility to just disclose all this information without going through certain procedures. The ASCA states that the American School Counselor Association states that each person has the right to be respected, be treated with dignity, and each person has the right to feel safe and have the right to privacy, and thereby the rights to expect the school counselor and student relationship to comply with all laws and policies and ethical standards pertaining to confidentiality in the school system. So just that is my main role as a school counselor, or one of my main roles as a school counselor, and it has to be respected. And Section A1 of the Ethical Standards for School Counselors states that professional school counselors have to have a primary obligation to the students who are to be treated with dignity and respect as unique individuals, but also states in Part B, Section 1, that school counselors respect the rights and responsibilities of parents for their children and endeavor to establish as appropriate a collaborative relationship with parents to facilitate students' maximum development. So parents need to understand that they absolutely have a role in the relationship that I have with their child and in this counseling relationship, but they need to understand as well that there's boundaries that need to be respected, and also my role in terms of what my responsibilities are in regards to confidentiality and what I can disclose and what I cannot disclose, and understand the importance of informed consent and what can be said out of session. So I think that that will be a real ethical dilemma that I most likely will have to deal with. I've actually already seen some school counselors deal with that, and it's really tough, especially when you have a relationship outside of the workforce. So it puts you in a situation where you might want to disclose and let them know, but also you are bound by the ethics. And so I think that the way that I would go about handling this particular situation, or the steps that I would take to resolve the ethical dilemma, would to make it clear that there's going to be a difference between our friendship, and there's going to be a difference between my counseling relationship. And so they cannot expect what they get from my friendship in the counseling relationship. It's not possible. And they cannot expect for me to disclose everything that is happening in the session with their child, because I am a counselor, I am a school counselor, and I am bound by ethics, and I have a certain responsibility, and I need to abide by the responsibility. And I also, it's just a question of explanation, communication, and letting them know what to expect, and also letting them know that they cannot expect to know absolutely everything that is going on, but also let them know that they are a big factor in this process, and it's important for them to be implicated, though they need to be aware of the boundaries and how far they actually can implicate themselves in the process. Thanks.